Coming up on this episode of NPS Now, we'll celebrate the graduates from the class of 2017. Preschoolers had fun learning about STEAM at Camp Young. And the district said farewell to some outstanding retirees on the Spirit of Norfolk. Later in the show, we'll talk with Marjorie Stealey about her amazing career with Norfolk Public Schools. All that and more next on NPS Now. Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. All 5 NPS high schools celebrated their graduation ceremonies at the Ted Constant Convocation Center on the campus of Old Dominion University. During the 2 days of ceremonies, over 1,600 graduates crossed the stage to receive their diplomas, and this year's scholarship total exceeded $67 million. Congratulations to all the graduates. Now let's meet a couple of graduates from the class of 2017. Sana Al-Kafi, a transfer student from Yemen at Norview High School, and Shane Whalen, a cancer survivor at Norview High School. Both seniors discussed the challenges they overcame to get to graduation day.
I've been here for 2 years, and it's mostly different from back home. I studied in a private school. It's in Yemen, in the Middle East.
She came to us 2 years ago as a transfer student, and when she came in, just hearing her story about being back home in Yemen and there being some social, or the country is at war due to leadership changes, and even accessing her records from her previous high school was a bit of a challenge because the school was closing due to the unrest there in our country. She did share with me one of our early sessions about her friends and what it's like for her to be here and be really uncertain about what's going on back home. From what she says, she sort of grins and bears it a lot, but I can tell that sometimes she'll smile and there's a whole lot more behind it.
I'm mostly quiet. I'm not that, I don't combine a lot with other people. I just do my work and just stay on track, and that's it. That's mostly what I just come here to look for my goal and just finish it.
Sana is amazing. She's personable, she's creative, and she's friendly, and she's always smiling, and she's encouraging. I love teaching her. I taught her brother last year, and so I've watched her be reserved and reticent in the hallways last year. This year, it's really nice to see her stepping forward a little bit more and being more engaging with the students as well as the staff.
She always shows up. She, not just attendance-wise, but she is, by nature, she's a learner. It's a part of who she is. So when she's in class, you know, she's present, she's paying attention, she's gleaning information that's going to help her in her future. She is quiet and she's humble. And I don't think she realizes how she impacts the people around her by just sort of modeling behavior that's normal for her.
I don't really know how other people think, but for me, because I will really always have this, I'll receive this question as, how do you know English? Or how do you pass these classes and you're just a new student here? But if you really love school and stay on track and do what you hopefully want to do, you'll reach that goal or finish what you really want. My goal is to finish high school and go to college and do my major as a medical laboratory.
I think she came very well prepared. when she came to Granby. I think her background, her family support, and the connections that she has with her family, I think that's pretty much well prepared her. I think Granby's just added some polish to that gem that she already is.
She is persistent, and she knows how to work for what she wants instead of waiting for what she wants. She creates opportunities. She looks for support services that can help her meet her goals. You know, she's a great person when it comes down to it, just who she is. And so others who she interacts with are going to see that in her too. And, you know, I have no doubts about her ability that not only did she earn that advanced studies diploma, but, you know, that she's going to take it as far as, you know, her sights can see.
So when I was 6 years old, I was diagnosed with Crohn's colitis, and I've had it for the past 13 years. I miss a lot of days, and like some days I can't even get out of bed. My doctor was actually telling me at one point, if I didn't take surgery, I wouldn't have seen my senior year, so that actually paid a big toll on me too. So I wasn't really expecting getting my senior year.
Shane came from Chesapeake Public Schools last school year. He was missing quite a few days, and that's what triggered me to ask him, you know, well, what's going on? And so he told me, but even when he told me, he still was coming to school when he could. When he was here, he was giving 100% effort. So a lot of students, they tend to maybe give up or be down on themselves or use their health as a crutch, but not Shane.
When he misses work, he comes right in, lets me know, asks me what he needs to do to make it up. We come up with a game plan. And the great thing about Shane is it's not only my class he's missing. So he has to come up with a game plan for basically all of his classes.
The staff, they helped me a lot most of the way. My mom actually helped me too. But like Dr. Stealey, Ms. Johnson, they're probably the top two on my list because they kept me on track a lot of the way, and they made me like work even harder.
I continue to push him. When he comes to me and I could tell that he's beginning to get a little defeated because of everything that he's going through, I use that as a way to push him and motivate him to keep going.
We want our kids to be successful. We want Shane to be successful. We understand that sometimes there are medical issues that, you know, that there's no schedule for. And so while teachers will pull things together, make up work together, and Shane goes about trying to do that, it might not be a good day. And so Shane might have to go home because he just can't do it.
I understand with Shane that accommodations need to be made because I don't even think I've even told Shane this before, but my son, he was out of school for an extended period of time where he was homeschooled. So of course it touches my heart, and I understand that particularly with students and kids, when there's a medical necessity where, you know, as teachers we are flexible, we have to do that.
Academically, I feel like I've done okay. Like I could have done even better, but B's and C's, you know, I could have done better.
That's crazy to me because B's and C's for a student that literally it takes everything out of him to get out of bed. Like that's amazing to me that he thought that a B or C wasn't good enough. So that just imagine if he wasn't fighting this health illness, where he would be.
I'm actually gonna go to college. I have scholarship offers to Mary Washington, UNC, and several other. And I'm actually planning on doing online college on TCC or some other college like that. And then I want to be an international marketer.
Sometimes graduation seems kind of far away, but because he has worked so hard, so diligent, and won't give up, Shane's going to be on the stage at graduation. I can't tell you how proud I am of him.
Everything about Shane is special. I know personally when I don't feel good, I'm no good. Like I just want to lay down, I just want to sleep. Shane pushes through all of that, and he does it with a smile on his face. So all of us academic advisors, we love him because despite his situation, he still persevered.
he's serious. He knows what he has to do, but sometimes he is lighthearted. And that's the Shane that I like. I like to see him smile. I like to see him crack jokes with other students, crack jokes with me. You know, it just shows that he's so diverse and that he's setting himself up. He's going to be able to handle any challenge or situation that comes his way.
I'm blessed. I'm happy. I actually kept pushing even though like sometimes I wanted to stop, and I'm glad.
The day after high school graduations, 22 students from Bridgescape Learning Academy, NPS Open Campus, held their own ceremony at Norview High School. Family and friends were in attendance as the students proudly received their high school diplomas. A few graduates told the audience why Open Campus worked for them and how it made a difference in their lives.
That if they could do it, then they should do it because it's a lot of help and it's really easy to do versus being in a regular school with all the distractions. It's not many distractions. It's based on your own pace, so it's not really rushed or too slow. So you just do it, really, and it's online, so it just makes it a lot easier.
Everything about Bridgescape, just the staff and Miss G and Miss Arnold, the teachers and counselors and everyone there just wanted me to just do something positive and do something great, and I've changed. Now my perspective on life has changed. I almost committed suicide last year, and I just really could not deal with life. And then a year later, look at me, I'm a Norfolk Public School graduate, and Booker T alumni now, and now I'm a Bridgescape Academy alumni, and it's just a great feeling. It's just really a great experience.
Maury High School's Medical and Health Specialties program held their 31st annual graduation ceremony at Eastern Virginia Medical School. During the event, special awards were handed out to students, and the graduates had the opportunity to thank their teachers for all their support. They also heard from speakers, including 2010 graduate Saul Brodsky, who wrote the student Hippocratic Oath. The graduating class of 36 students who earned over $3 million in scholarships then received their medals, signifying their completion of the program. Even if they choose not to go to the medical field, these graduates recognize the valuable lessons learned during their time in the program.
Time management from my guidance counselor. I think that's really the basis of learning everything and getting things done. I think it's prepared me to with a better work ethic and being able to study hard for especially anatomy class. That prepared me a lot for real world classes because that was very rigorous.
I think the leadership skills that I've earned and the patience, definitely the patience with myself and patience with other people, learning how to study. Studying is real, and when you come from middle school you don't believe that, but coming to high school and taking anatomy and taking sports medicine, you have to study or you're not going to pass. And if you study, you'll excel. And that's the whole point of the program.
Greenville High School held their International Baccalaureate and National Honor Society recognition ceremony prior to graduation. Over 100 students, accompanied by their parents, were recognized for their completion of the IB program and high academic achievements. The IB program is a 2-year academically challenging and balanced program intended for juniors and seniors who desire in-depth scholastic preparation for colleges and universities. Over 100 NPS retirees with a combined 2,500 years of service ventured on board the Spirit of Norfolk for a special retirement luncheon cruise. The retirees enjoyed good food and music during the cruise, and each was recognized for his or her service to the district.
The love of the children in Norfolk Public Schools and knowing that they need people who are dedicated and loyal and committed to being here, and being able to work with such wonderful people who also are dedicated to the children. It just has made the journey very, very easy. It went so quickly, it's hard to believe. I remember when I was a new teacher, I wondered if I would ever make it 5 years. And now the Lord has brought me this 42 plus years, and I am just so grateful.
Norfolk has really molded me into the educator that I have become. It has been really awesome, a pleasure to teach at Lake Taylor High School, and a pleasure to be a school counselor at Booker T. Washington High School. I'm really going to miss it, and I will be back to volunteer.
Preschool students from around the district enjoyed a change of scenery when they visited Camp Young during the annual Preschool Discovery Days. The theme of this year's event was Storytime STEAM, which meant that science, technology, engineering, arts, and math were the focus of the camp. These young students had the opportunity to participate in STEAM activities, enjoy a puppet show by the Wolf Trap Institute, eat s'mores together, and have their pictures taken at a special photo booth. This unique visit enabled our preschoolers to have fun learning in a totally new environment.
A lot of our kids don't get exposed to the woods or to the forest, and so they come here and they step off the bus and they're just looking up like these trees go on and on and on forever. So a lot of this is a brand new experience for them. We also have parents that come back with the kids and say, I remember being here when I was in 2nd grade or 4th grade and it hasn't changed, and they love that. So this type of experience is really important for them to just get out and experience something different.
It was so fun when I was going. That's why I'm so amazed that my son can come today, because it showed them a different area than being where we at, and they get to have fun and they learning new and different things.
This is a great place for them to reconnect to nature. Our kids stay on concrete all the time. It's great for building vocabulary. They get to see things that are happening in nature around them every day. And so it's great to let them come out of the schoolhouse to experience some new things.
Students at Eastern Preschool enjoyed a day of sports and ice cream at the conclusion of their Young Athlete Sports Play program. The program, which is for children ages 2 to 5, teaches foundation skills, moving in various pathways, balancing, jumping, throwing, catching, kicking, and striking. This field day was designed to highlight all of the valuable skills learned by these young people. Norview High School students and marching band members cheered on adaptive PE students as they completed the final lap of the Achilles Kids Challenge. The goal of this program is to get special needs students to run, walk, or push themselves to finish an entire 26.2-mile marathon over the course of a school year. 73 students at 4 of our high schools completed the challenge this year, and they each received a medal along with a brand new pair of athletic shoes, courtesy of Adidas.
The kids love it, their enjoyment, their enthusiasm, just the completing something that they think they couldn't complete before is just really important for them, and also that gives them that a chance that they can do stuff, they are capable of doing things, and they could do it little by little and get it done, and that's the whole purpose of the program, is being successful.
Oh, they love it. They love it. We walk every day, they get their exercise, you know, everybody's looking at having the kids get more exercise, whether they're, you know, my kids or they're the regular students. It means a lot to them as far as that all the kids went out and supported them on their last lap.
Students from 7 NPS middle schools competed in the Middle School Battle of the Books at Lake Taylor Middle School. Teams of up to 4 students in grades 6 through 8 were asked trivia questions about the 10 current Virginia Reader's Choice book titles. The annual competition is a fun and exciting way to encourage students to read good books. This year's winning team was from Ruffner Academy. The Norfolk Education Foundation honored 7 individuals for their career accomplishments during the Distinguished Alumni Awards lunch at the new Hilton Hotel in downtown Norfolk. Those who received awards were Booker T. Washington's Bonita Anthony and James Church, Morey's Leroy Reynolds and Jack Baker, Lake Taylor High's Lorraine Graves, Norview High's Tommy Smeagol, and Granby High's Dr. Warren Stewart. Those honored were extremely grateful for the recognition.
First of all, I am so honored to be selected among these honorees for the Norfolk Education Foundation's Public School Alumni Award. I am always overwhelmed when my name comes up for these things. I'm very humbled, I'm very appreciative, very grateful of the kind of career that I've had, and it's so important to now be able to give back some of the experiences that I've had to the younger students that I teach around town.
I think just understanding how critical it was to furthering my education in life and just preparing me. So much happened in high school, just with friends and family, and just in the football and even the classrooms. It helped prepare me and push me to another level mentally, like spiritually. So I'm just grateful to be in this place and grateful to just went to Morey. So it was a blessing.
You know what I honor is I honored all the teachers of the city of Norfolk. They taught me to be a straight C person. I wasn't a straight A student, but they did teach me to have a caring heart first, to have competence, and they made sure my body and mind was able to perform and to put forth the energy and effort and will, that commitment. So caring, competence, and commitment was given to me by all the teachers, and I mean classroom teachers, principals, custodians, cafeteria workers, counselors, everyone.
On a hot and sunny day, the Norfolk Education Foundation hosted its 5th annual golf tournament at Sewell's Point Golf Course on the Norfolk Naval Base. This year's outing had over 100 golfers participate and raised approximately $32,000. The money raised will aid the foundation's effort to supplement classroom needs and fund grants so that teachers can provide the services necessary to ensure the best quality education for our students. Assistant principals from around the district have been meeting together since March for the Principal Preparation Program. These APs applied and were selected for the program in order to learn more about leadership and the responsibility of becoming a principal. Throughout the program, they were able to work closely with other principals, central office leaders, and Superintendent Dr. Melinda J. Boone. If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, please be sure to contact us at nps_news@npsk12.com. Stay tuned for more NPS Now. Welcome back to NPS Now. With me today is a very special guest. We have Marjorie Stealey. She is the principal of Norview High School, who has given Norfolk Public Schools over 43 years of service. Welcome to NPS Now.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. You were my son's principal. He loved his experience at Norview High School, and you've been there since, what, 1992?
As principal, yes.
As principal, and so tell me, what other positions have you held in addition to principal at Norview High School?
Well, I started at Ruffner Junior High School as an English teacher, and I spent several years there, and then I went to Lake Taylor High School, and then I was one of the first deans in Norfolk Public Schools and spent 6 or 7 years doing that. And then in between, let's see, then I did summer school principal. Mm-hmm. Then I was a development officer and created the grants office in Norfolk Public Schools, assistant principal, and then principal for 25 years.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
And you've given so much here to the district. It's kind of interesting fact to note that we have 5 women principals currently this school year, but you were the first ever female principal here in Norfolk Schools. How did that make you feel? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, initially it was a goal just to become a high school principal, and I was just so ecstatic. Mm-hmm. There was a bit of publicity about that because it was all new, but that's not really what I focused on. It wasn't until several years later that I realized that really was important. It was important for just capable people, not necessarily women, but just those people who are capable. So, looking around this year at 5 high school women principal, it does make me feel very good. You know, someone once told me, if you're the first, you got to do it right. So
that's a lot of pressure.
So they'll bring in some other, you know, people just like you, and so I feel good. I feel really good.
Did you think you would ever spend 25 years at Norview? What kept you there?
Well, I wasn't sure how long I was going to be at Norview. I knew that really the goal was a high school principal. That's what I dreamed about. And along the way, I've had several different offers. I love curriculum and instruction. That's really an area of focus for me, of great interest. And so there have been a couple of offers along the way to specialize in curriculum and instruction. And I had to think twice about, did I really want to leave Norview High School? And I think there's such a connection with kids, with staff, with the building. It really has a place in my heart, and I couldn't leave. And so it's been a wonderful experience. Best job anyone could have, especially me.
And you've brought some great programs and opportunities for the students too, while being principal there at Norview High School. So you were there when it was the old Norview and went through the new transition to the new high school.
Right.
What are some of the things that you remember most about that transition from the old to the new?
Well, you know, the old building was wonderful. I mean, it really was. We laughed because we had to we had to rope in the windows when it rained. They were a little wobbly, and kids had to move their desk. We had pylons holding up the gym floor. When it was time to test in our CTE classes, we had to decide whether we had lights or we had computers.
Wow.
Because the electricity was so thin in that building. But we all loved that old building. It said a lot to generations of kids who had gone through and parents who had supported those kids. So one of the things at the end of that old building is that we had really established a culture of expectancy. And there were banners on the front of the building, and there were, because we had captured the only 2 awards for public high schools, national awards from the U.S. Department of Education. So we had banners across the front of the school because we wanted our kids to take pride walking through those doors, those very old doors. And so what was really fun is that we asked our parents and our kids and our community, what would you like in a new Norview High School? And what was clear is those banners meant something to everyone in our community. And so when you enter the gym, we have a saying on the side of the building, and it's and kids crafted that. So they wanted us to make sure that we had words on our building of high expectations.
Yeah, so what are some of, since you brought up the awards, what are some of the names that you all, awards that you've received?
We've been recognized by the U.S. News and World Report as one of the top 6% performing high schools in America.
For how many years now?
For 3 years. And then it was U.S. News and World Report. We're also a top 10, top percent high performing school for the country. We're from Fordham University. We're a change school, 2 U.S. Department of Education national awards. We just won our 2nd award, which we're really excited about, from the National Association of Secondary School Principals Association, and that's for continuous high achievement. And so we won that in 2013, and this past year they came back and they asked those schools who had received that award if they would like to reapply, and they had sent us some information that they had collected, and so we're ecstatic that after all of these years we're alive and well and still working. It really is about creativity, how you work differently and ongoing with parents, new programs.
And you had a program about capturing our kids' hearts, I think?
Capturing kids' hearts, and that's a part of us and always has been. You know, one of the things that is interesting just about teenagers today is that not every teenager wants to come to school.
Right.
And so they call them reluctant learners. I call them teenagers, okay?
Right.
So you have to make high school exciting. It has to be there, whether you're involved in sports, whether you're in the DECA, whether you're in the chorus. You have to be connected, otherwise it's just school.
Right,
it's just school. You go to school and you do homework and you come home. So our program is called Capturing Kids' Hearts, and it is a national program, and we brought it to Norview High School 15 years ago. And it's how you reach out to kids, how you connect with kids to make learning fun and exciting, and how we mutually learn how to respect each other. Because what's interesting is forever I've heard adults say, you know, I can't stand teenagers. They're just, and they give this look. And really, it's just kids being kids, and oftentimes adults don't know how to relate, don't know how to respect a teenager. They just don't understand them. They don't take enough time. And so what we've found is that we've trained our whole staff on how to reach out to kids, how to be respectful. We have a leadership program. Our leadership teachers are trained in capturing kids' hearts. And it's a marvelous way to really change a culture. It has indeed contributed to the change in our culture.
And aside from the aesthetic changes from the old school to the new school, what has changed the most about Norview?
Well, I would, a lot really, but I would have to say the culture is that we've worked at, for years, creating a culture of expectancy. You walk in our front door and it's clear who we are, what we stand for, and it's about high expectations. You know, we have pictures on this side of kids who have applied to college. We have National Merit Scholars. We have our pictures of our scholarship kids and numbers underneath. We have NJROTC a display case. We have alums that we revere and we want all our kids to see. We have AP classes and pictures of kids, and it speaks to success.
Is that what you think you're going to miss the most?
Yes, I think without a doubt, because I love, love, love the challenge of reaching out to kids and helping them find who they are and where they want to go. And sometimes they don't know, and sometimes I'm not sure. But it's by posing a question. Are you sure you haven't thought about the Naval Academy? Are you sure you haven't thought about an entrepreneur program?
Right.
You know, and so it's just reaching out to kids and planting the seed of a dream.
Right. So what's next for you?
Oh, so I'm not sure.
Are you retiring to go to another position?
Well, I'm retiring
Plural.
because, you know, the pace of being a high school principal and all of the hours and all of the events. I loved it, have loved it all my life. It's the best job for me. But I'm ready to slow down just a little bit and reach out, maybe in a different way. You know, I have this interest in writing children's books.
Oh, wow.
I have interest in consulting. I have interest in teaching at the collegiate level. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But just want to step back just a little. But always in my heart will be Norview High School. You know, that's been my home.
Of course. And so what advice would you give the next principal for Norview High School?
Well, I'm excited to say.
Is there a laundry list?
No. Whoever steps in, I would just say, you know, polish up your skates, because it's going to be a wonderful, fast-paced ride. Filled with highs and lows, ups and downs, and at the end of the day, you have an opportunity to impact kids' lives and teachers.
And you've impacted many lives over the 43 years. Thank you for coming on the
Thank
show
you
and sharing
so
this
much.
time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or information you'd like to share, email us at nps_news@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.